Hello to all of my authentic brand leaders. I hope you're having a great start to the week. I can't believe there's only about like 3 weeks left of the year, but I hope that you are getting a good start to your Monday afternoon here, or morning or evening, wherever you are listening from. So all of this month, in the month of December, I am talking about really helping successful business owners learn how to be a coach or mentor so they could grow their business and their influence. I'm calling this series Letters for Leaders Live, mostly because my newsletter is called Letters for Leaders and it's in written form, but for these, I wanted to share them through video. So today, I wanted to share a little bit more about specifically, like if you're going to run a coaching session, basically just the number one strategy or tip that you can implement just to make sure that it goes smoothly and successfully. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes, things go really, really well, and the client walks away feeling very empowered and inspired and ready to take action. And then other times you may leave a session just feeling like, oh, what the heck just happened? Or maybe if you are from the client's end, you feel you can have either one of those reactions as well. So I'm really here to help you just kind of set yourself up for success so you can have just more empowerment, more fun with your coaching, and become just much more effective as well. So this is a very, very simple skill that you can apply to your coaching sessions and on lots of other different calls that you may be hopping on as well. So if you're joining me live, feel free to like, comment, really engage. Let me know what kind of calls you've been having lately, what kind of questions you're having too. I'll be happy to turn this into more of like a conversation rather than me just talking. So anyway, so if you are about to coach somebody on the phone or do a coaching session with them, the number one strategy I'd say to really set yourself up for success is to really be clear on what the outcome of that coaching session is. And what I mean by that is really helping to walk the client through what the intention for the what, the why, and the how of your conversation. So when I was doing my coach certification training, this was a very, very important skill that we had to hone, and we spent, oh my gosh, like so many hours, so many coaching sessions just practicing how to nail this down, because sometimes people come to a coaching session and they feel like they're all over the place. They have so many ideas, so many different directions, and not quite sure like which one to focus on in like a 30-minute session. So your role is to really help them to pinpoint what is it they want to focus on. Or maybe they do have a very specific thing they want to work on, but it's not quite where they are, or it's not quite the right thing. So to really set yourself up for success is to have that conversation up front within the first 2 or 3 minutes. Really ask them some of these few key questions, setting the intention, setting the tone. So really asking them, okay, for the next 30 minutes, what would be the best outcome for you? Another question you can ask, what is the most important thing we can work on together? If you were to walk away at the end of the session, what would be the best use of our time today? How can I best help you in the next half an hour? So those are examples of just really getting to the heart of, okay, like we have a set amount of time. What can we do that would really, really help you? And then really asking those key follow-up questions, like I have it written down. Like what do you want to work on? Really understanding the what. What is it that you want to work on? And then following it up with, why is this important? Because then hey, like we're actually spending time on something that actually matters, as opposed to just something that's maybe a shiny object or just something that, you know, isn't quite the priority right now. So what do you want? Why is this important? And how will you know that you've got it? Like by the end of the session, how will you know, like, hey, we've reached what we set out to do. We've achieved and talked about like what you want to talk about. So it's really simple. Those 4 key questions. What's the best outcome? What do you want? Why do you want this? Or why is this important? And how will you know that we've got it? And once you both kind of talked through and picked out what that is, then you can start with a coaching session. Then you can start creating that experience. Then you can start talking about where you are right now, where you want to go, creating those goals, creating those outcomes, working on your mindset, working on your strategies. And so it really does set the coaching session up for success when you both know, hey, this is why we're here, this is what we're going to work on, and we're going to do it. So that's something that, you know, as a coach early on, that was something that I practiced a lot. Something that you can get better at, something you can kind of help discern where people are at too, so you can really help them really figure out like what their priorities are. So that's for a coaching session. You can also apply the same principle of really getting clear on the intentions and the outcomes for the different types of calls you may be having. For example, if you are doing a sales call or a discovery call, as some coaches call it, really you can have the authority, you can lead the conversation by being very clear up front with the outcome. So starting the sales conversation with, hey, you know, I'm so glad we got this chance to connect. The purpose of this call is so I can hear what your goals are, hear what your goals are, where you are right now, and talk about ways that we can work together. If you set up that clear outcome and intention in the very beginning, that this is a sales call, we're going to talk about how to work together and possibly you hiring me, that will eliminate a lot of confusion, maybe, especially if maybe the prospects, sometimes they think maybe they're hopping on like a free coaching call when you're trying to sell them. That could really end in kind of confusion or like ickiness. And so again, being very clear up front, this is a sales call. This is my intention for talking to you. Hopefully this is your intention, making sure they match. That can help set that up for success. Or follow-up calls, maybe after you already had that initial conversation of how to work together. You know, following up with them with a call like, hey, for the purpose of this conversation, I'm here to just follow up with you to see where, you know, what you're thinking about in terms of working together. I'm here to help answer any questions, and I'm really here to just empower you to make the right decision for your business. So again, you have the authority to lead the conversation in that way by being very clear up front. This is what we're doing. This is what we're going to talk about. Hopefully we're on the same page in that way. Another type of call that you could be having are like these really fun, like virtual coffee dates. And the purpose of these calls, again, say it up front, is not to sell. It's not to do any sort of thing like that, but it's really to just connect with each other, learn about each other's businesses, and maybe figure out ways that you can collaborate or work together in that way. And so again, just setting up the call up front with the clear intention. I'm so glad we got a chance to connect. This is just kind of like a fun way for us to get to know each other's businesses, and how maybe we can potentially collaborate or serve one another. So I hope that's just helpful. Again, I've heard a lot of people just mention that they're not quite sure how to, I don't know, maybe they don't get the results that they're looking for. And I think that's because there's a mismatch between intentions between like the coach and the client, or the business owner and the prospect. And so if you really take some time in the beginning to really get clear on your outcome, like, why are we talking about this? Like, why why are we connecting? What do we hope will happen at the end, by the end of our conversation? If you can both be clear on that, be on the same page, that makes working together so much easier, so much more fun, so much more engaging as well. So I hope this was helpful for you. Again, something that's very easy to implement. You can do it right away, and you can do it more and better with practice. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to comment, feel free to share it with your friends. And really, if you have any other questions or comments about how to be a coach, be a better coach, be a better mentor, I'll be happy to answer them all this month. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye!